All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Detroit Lions in today's video. We're going to talk about a couple of players that would really take this defense specifically to that next level. I know the Lions clearly dealt with a multitude of different defensive specific injuries. Way too many guys on IR, 16 of them entering that playoff game. But I anticipate, and I've been saying this since that loss, I highly anticipate Brad Holmes and this Detroit Lions organization. They've done such a great job of finding, drafting, and developing players, but I think they're going to go out there and get some solidified veterans that can just, big-time players make big-time plays. And what do stars do in playoff games? They make plays. That's why you give them the big bucks. And so I know Detroit was depleted, but at the same time, I also think this is the offseason where it's like, all right, we just won the NFC North for the second straight year. We just kind of regressed. We won 15 games, but we regressed in the sense of we were one and done in the playoffs with a home playoff game. We got upset to a rookie. Let's go out there and let's fill this lineup, specifically the defense, with guys who are going to help us reach the promised land. And also, we're waiting on offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator hires. Aaron Glenn officially the head coach for the New York Jets. Ben Johnson on Monday officially became the head coach for the Chicago Bears. So we will keep you updated on this channel about the coordinator searches, either who they're interviewing, who's rumored to be, who it ends up being, all that fun stuff. So hit that sub button if you haven't already. But as always, welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we are talking about the Detroit Lions. A little bit more of a hypothetical video in here. It's going to be a long off season. We don't have free agency for 5 or 6 more weeks, which actually isn't that long of a time. But February really is the only doom and gloom NFL offseason month there is, where we're just kind of in no man's land, where the end of the season just finished. We're waiting for the next season. So I want to start getting into free agency because Brad Holmes is already cooking it up. But folks, if we could try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So what a lot of people don't realize about the Detroit Lions is they're set to have about $57 million in cap space this offseason per over the cap. And I saw this article from Sports Grid's Zach Cook, who predicted the Detroit Lions will sign Khalil Mack in free agency. Now, I'll walk you guys through it. Khalil Mack's about to turn 34 years old. Real quick, on the defensive line, you have Aiden Hutchinson. So you have a superstar, right? He's going to come back. He's going to be healthy, and he will reestablish himself as one of, if not the best edge rusher in the NFC or NFL, right? On the other side, you have Zadarius Smith. Now, as you guys know, I'm a cheesehead. I think Zadarius doesn't, I don't want to say crumble, but in big time games, I don't really see it. All right. I just don't see it. Now, they're not paying him an arm and a leg. And outside of that, the depth would be a guy like Marcus Davenport, who's entering free agency. I got Josh Pascal. So my point is, one side's perfect in Aiden Hutchinson. You don't necessarily need a Khalil Mack. You don't even really necessarily need an upgrade at edge, because hopefully next season you're going to have your defensive line with Aiden Hutchinson, Zadarius Smith, guys like Aleem McNeil, DJ Reader, some stud linebackers. Brian Branch loves to hit. Melifanu loves to blitz as well. It's not the end of the world if they don't go out there and upgrade it, but Khalil's turning 34. Age is definitely a factor. He just confirmed that he will be back for at least one more NFL season, and in 2024 with the Los Angeles Chargers, he had 6 sacks and 49 total pressures, which ranked 33rd and 26th in the NFL per PFF. All right, the year before that, at 33 or 32, Khalil Mack had a career high 17 sacks. Now, here's why I'm even talking about this, all right? Because he sounds pricey. It's Khalil Mack. It's a name brand. It's big-time baller, multi-year Pro Bowler. He just, by the way, made a Pro Bowl in last season as well, having 6 sacks. Edge rushers, the only sack that matters is not sacks, all right? It is a decent indicator, but it's not the end-all be-all, right? We just said he had 49 total pressures. 1 year, $6.8 million contract, according to a website called Spotrac. If you can get Khalil Mack on a $6.8 million deal to Detroit, I think that would be something that they at least look into, or at least intrigues them. I also just want to throw this out there. I don't think Max Crosby is going to get traded from Las Vegas. And I also don't see Brad Holmes forking up what would cost to bring Max Crosby to Detroit. So let me know your thoughts on Khalil Mack down below. Now, this one's interesting as well. This one, Same or different website. Lions free agent pitch lands Detroit $40 million former Pro Bowler, which doesn't sound great. But here's where it gets interesting. So Charvarius Ward, this is who it's about. It's about Charvarius Ward. Now, Carlton Davis, cornerback 1 for Detroit last season, was phenomenal. He was awesome. They got him around this time last season in the offseason. They traded for Carlton Davis. Now, the one thing is he will be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. But because of that jaw injury, he missed a couple of games at the end of the year. It was immediately felt. And then guys like Amik Robertson went down with an injury. Unless the Lions lose Carlton Davis, I do not think that they will make a move like this. All right. But if they do fail to retain Carlton Davis, Clutch Points' Jaron Kawada believes GM Brad Holmes should sign San Francisco 49ers cornerback Charvarius Ward into free agency. Now, he just had a down season, but prayers up. Tragic death of his daughter. I don't even want to discuss it. I mean, I can't even imagine it. I just want to move past it. So he had a down statistical season, and he kind of made headlines a couple of weeks ago saying, man, I don't really think I want to be in San Francisco because it just brings up bad memories. Now, during 2023, he had 5 interceptions, made a Pro Bowl, made the second team All-Pro selection, and allowed a 54.5 completion rate on 101 targets. When you look at the Lions defensive back room right now, if Carlton Davis does come back, I don't think they're going to make any moves except maybe some depth pieces, kind of like an Amik Robertson last year. When the Lions signed Amik Robertson in free agency, they stole him from the Las Vegas Raiders, who I guess didn't even want him back for whatever reason. I don't think Vegas even really knows what Vegas is doing. But my point is, your starting lineup would be Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold entering his sophomore campaign, and then Amik Robertson in the nickel. And then your safety room is Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. Your depth would consist of guys like also rookie Ennis Rakestraw, who we just didn't really see much of, especially towards the end of the season because of the hamstring injury and then the illness. Ennis was just kind of a mess as far as just being healthy or being available to stay on the field because of that IR stint. But my point is, it'd be the same cornerback room, but Carlton Davis is a great cornerback 1 for this team. Amik Robertson, once he started seeing playing time, made an impact. He's a phenomenal cornerback in the nickel to have for this team. He's so versatile, such a versatile defensive back. And obviously that injury in that playoff game was catastrophic, and everyone just feels really bad. Nothing but the best for him. Hope he gets back healthy as soon as possible, or honestly take your time because it's January 23rd. And then you have Terrion Arnold entering his sophomore campaign. So I'm just saying the only way I could see Detroit going out there and throw in former $40 million guy in Charvarius Ward is if they're not able to retain Carlton Davis. So just kind of the point here is Detroit has a lot of money, $57 million in cap space as it stands right now. Obviously, they are going to have to extend or think about extending some of these players like Jamison Williams just comes to my mind, but I'm curious what Lions fans watching this video want them to do in free agency. So hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already, and let me know down below, should the Lions look into Khalil Mack and or Charvarius Ward? If not, let me know your thoughts. We'll see you soon. Peace.